Hello, you are joining me today for a very brief breakfast, and I'm calling it a tea party because I have my beautiful teapot. I have my vanilla almond loose leaf tea, which I'm going to pour into my nifty diffuser thing that fits over my cup, and into one of my favorite cups. The cup is important. And let it steep a little bit. And go on with my breakfast of champions, which is organic salted Valencia crunchy peanut butter from Trader Joe's. Excellent peanut butter. Dr. Berg, who, if you don't know Dr. Berg, you should get acquainted, says this is the way to go for peanut butter that doesn't have mold. It's a healthier peanut butter. And raw wildflower honey. This is delicious. I encourage you to always get raw honey and try different flavors. This one is Miller's. It's very good. So I've got this on a bread that is, at first glance, it looks like it's really healthy. It's got all kinds of wonderful things in it. And then you look a little closer and the flour is enriched. You don't want that. That'll mess with your gut. And it does have soy, which is not the best idea either. Does taste really well. I'm not going to say where it came from since I like it so much I don't want to say bad things. But anyway, that's my breakfast for today because I got a lot to do. This is very quick and easy. And it's messy, so of course, just bring your honey rag to the table. Make sure you got enough honey that you need the rag. It's dripping everywhere. That's how you want this. Goopy, drippy. All right. I will just, when I eat, I will just put my napkin on because that's what I do, like a 2-year-old. Give me my bib. Now, with my tea today, I'm going to share, I also have organic whole milk. You will never lose weight with light. You will never lose weight with stuff that doesn't taste and have fat in it and taste rich and delicious. So, forget that. With this peanut butter, a variation on this peanut butter is buttered toast, then put some peanut butter on and toast the peanut butter, then put some real maple syrup on that. I have a friend who is horrified by the idea that you would actually put butter and peanut butter on. But the question is, do you want to get satisfied or you want to keep eating all day? And do you want it to be good? Of course you want it to be good. All right, so I will go enjoy that in just a moment. But I want to read from, of course, if you've listened to me very long, you know I love the Founder's Bible. And what I'm reading today is entitled The Holy Experiment, because I think that we need to be having these kinds, that I'm going to talk about, these kinds of holy experiments nowadays. We need to look at everything like, how can I add holiness to that? In other words, how can I add love and everything that comes with that? Forgiveness, kind words, everything that I can do that will make it a holy experiment. There's an issue in my life. Well, let's try a holy experiment. Let's do what William Penn said. Let's see what love can do. So I'm going to share this now. 1 Corinthians 13 is a place to start. And I was reading that recently because I was struggling with something. And the thing that stood out to me, is always something that stands out when you read that. But the thing that stood out was, love is not provoked. I was provoked, which means I was not loving that person. The holy experiment. In 1681, King Charles II handed over 45,000 square miles of his American land holdings, which included present-day Pennsylvania and Delaware, to William Penn to satisfy a debt the king owed to Penn's father. What might one do with so much land? Penn's response was, let us see what love can do. Penn understood all too well the opposite of love, which is coercion. He had been expelled from Oxford University for boycotting Anglican services, and then had been beaten with a cane by his father for his faith as a Quaker, or the Society of Friends. Later, he was imprisoned in England twice for his faith. While imprisoned in the Tower of London for 8 months, he wrote his classic book, No Cross, No Crown. Having formulated forward-looking ideas about human equality and shared community resources, Penn was convinced that he could construct a holy experiment, aiming for a social contract that would bind and respect all residents based on the principle of Christian love. In 1682, he established Pennsylvania as a colony where people of all faiths were free to worship and practice their religion. Now, if you'll notice, when people are trying to sell you socialism and communism, they have to get rid of religion for you to worship the state. So this is not the same thing. This is all voluntary. He printed advertisements in 6 different languages and sent them across Europe. And soon, Quakers, Mennonites, Lutherans, Dunkards, Church of the Brethren, Amish, Moravians, Huguenots, those are French Protestants, Catholics, and Jews began arriving from England, Sweden, Wales, Germany, Scotland, Ireland, and Holland. That atmosphere of religious openness ultimately paved the way for the world's first African-American Christian denomination, the African Methodist Episcopal Church. He also drafted a frame of government to provide for a democratic system with freedom of religion, free and fair trials, freedom from unjust imprisonment, and all these things that they had suffered in Europe. Freedom of the press, the right to own private property, free elections of representatives of the people, and a separation of powers. All ideas that would later form the basis of the American Constitution. However, Pennsylvania's charter restricted the right to vote and to hold political office to Protestants. Equal justice and treatment for all was extended to Native Americans, including contractual relationships for acquiring land at fair prices. Penn respected the Susquehanna, Shawnee, and Lenni Lenape nations so much that he learned their languages, entered their lands unarmed and unescorted, and won their trust. A businessman as well, Penn had a vision that included a great town, he called it, a bustling commercial center that would capture the world's respect, which he named Philadelphia, which meant the city of brotherly love. He also wanted it to be a green country town, so he hired surveyor Thomas Holme to lay out a grid to accomplish this, with parks and central squares to be a focus of community. It's little wonder that Philadelphia became the signing place of the Declaration of Independence and Constitution, the nation's first capital, as well as having the first lending library, first bank, first hospital, and first stock exchange. One person saying, let us see what love can do, and then doing as he was anointed by God, obviously, to do, can do so much. And that's where we are right now in our country, is what can I do as one person? And if it's no more than making your house welcoming and full of love and grace for those you love, there's really nothing greater than that. So I'm going to finish my breakfast and my tea and get on with the day's business. I have enjoyed so much being with you. Thank you.